A U.S. citizen is shot dead, and now Congress is saying enough. One lawmaker just accused Homeland Security of becoming a threat to Americans themselves and demanded funding be cut immediately. This is not politics as usual.
Thank you, Congressman. Well, good afternoon. It's a cloudy day. It's 1 week from the horrifying murder that we all saw on video happen in Minnesota. And it is cloudy because we know that we're weeping at what we're seeing happen around the country. You see, for the last year, as Americans watch the violence and indignity on their phones and televisions, they have come to understand what so many of us already know. DHS, as it's operating, is now a threat to every one of us. But I want to be clear. What is happening today in our communities, it's not an accident. And it's not new. DHS immigration agents in many cases are not operating rogue. And I'll tell you why. Because from its establishment, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE has been empowered through a lack of oversight and too much latitude to violate our rights under the pretense of securing our safety. Now, do you feel safe right now? Do you believe that DHS operates with due process? Do you think that they are abiding by the law? No. Cursing out U.S. citizens, do you think they have respect for the American people? No. And what you saw on January 7th in Minneapolis is that Americans saw the danger of infusing resources into DHS abuse of power. ICE shot citizen Renee Nicole Good in the face and then called her names. So now we have seen so plainly what DHS can do with its unlimited resources and unchecked power. Funding ICE only fuels our own destruction. We cannot assure our security by sacrificing our humanity, our dignity, or liberty. So what can we do? How do we protect our Constitution? How do we protect our constituents? Well, we have to do three things. One, there has to be consequences for how DHS has abused taxpayer dollars to violate our rights. We must use Congress appropriations power to hold DHS and ICE accountable. Yes, we must oppose new investments, even more money, and demand policy change and reforms. We have to claw back ICE's funding as a natural consequence for DHS's disregard for the rule of law and violations of our rights. Number two, there has to be accountability for every act of violence and lawlessness perpetrated by federal agents on the ground, for every constituent who has been tear gassed, hit with pepper balls, subjected to warrantless arrest and precision immobilization maneuvers, for those that have been kidnapped and disappeared. We must prosecute the criminals in masks. Number three, we must work together as an organized caucus committed to be the opposition party, even as the minority party, to build the pressure and to also build a case so that we can, in fact, impeach Noam and every single fascist leader so they never, ever hold public office again. Look, I called for her resignation back in April. It feels like 100 years ago. And yes, I have called for impeachment before. But Homeland and every member here wants to make sure we go through a process that actually gets us to the outcome we want. And that is why I'm happy to be working with our leaders here today, with the Committee of Judiciary and Oversight, to ensure that our efforts ultimately do, in fact, lead to her removal. Whether it's by resignation, whether it's by termination, or by impeachment. But Kristi Noem has got to go, and we will do everything in our power to ensure it happens as quickly as possible.
This isn't just a policy disagreement, it's an indictment. Delia Ramirez is drawing a hard line, arguing that unchecked power and unlimited funding have turned DHS into something dangerous. She's calling for defunding, prosecutions, and even impeachment, language rarely used this directly on Capitol Hill. The question now isn't whether DHS will be investigated, it's how far Congress is willing to go when a U.S. citizen ends up dead.